firewalls for your company so no outsiders can steal information from your network and from your computers. All right? Next job, research and development. In the UK, companies spend £18 billion every year for the last 10 years. Private companies and government, they spend minimum £18 billion on research and development. On how to make better robots, better construction machines, better equipment, faster cars, better hospital equipment, you name it. Specifically, the renewable energy, like wind turbines, the solar energy, and the wave energy on the sea, offshore. So renewable energy and biomass, and you name it. All this renewable energy, there's huge research development going on for the last 10 years, and probably will carry on the next 10, 20 years. Because the oil is running out. We're running out of oil. And we cannot carry on consuming oil. So we have to think about how we make the cars use sort of electricity in a more efficient way. So renewable energy is going to be very, very important field to get into and get jobs and study that field, or get apprenticeship, or get a job in that field. Because the demand is increasing. Programming, as usual, it has always been going upwards. According to Moore's law, it's exponentially going upwards because the chip is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. As I said, the chip in your mobile phone now is more powerful than a huge frame which used to be in the 50s and the 60s. And so all these fields, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, communications, neural networking, augmented and virtual reality is very, very going to be useful and powerful. And when I say neural networking, I'm talking about swarm nodes. Not only just, a simple robot by itself. You're going to have 10 robots working together, 100 robots working together, communicating, sorting out things, managing the facilities of your building, managing your hospital, managing bills, managing children in schools, managing sheep in farms. So you will find one robot will lead 20 robots. Even one man, where the way he moves his hand, he will allow other robots, 20 or 30 robots, to move their hands the same way, and they imitate him. So if you're doing a pizza, you show the robot how you're doing the pizza, and the other 20 robots will do another 20 pizza on the table in front of you. So that is very important in neural networking. It's a big field, and a lot of jobs will be available. Robotics and drones. Lots of companies, they're going to provide jobs, and they'll pay a high salary to design a robot, to manufacture a robot, and to maintain that robot. If you're good at that, they will give you a job and pay rise slowly, or very fast, depending on your ability. And it's happening. There are already now 12 robots which are very famous. Some of them range from £8,000 to £70,000. These are domestic, commercial, and medical robots. They're available. You can buy them from this country, Japan, and Korea, and America, and Germany. Okay? And the health and safety of these new technologies also will be very important, because governments will have to regulate these robots, make sure that they are safe. One of the reasons that robots are not popular and not available or widespread use is because if a robot hits you, by hand or by arm, you could break your arm or your head or, part of your body. But now, with this health and safety, that is controlling the technologies, they're making them so soft, like the trunk of an elephant. So they're making them behave in a very gentle way. So if they hit you, they will turn around you, and they will not have a strong impact on you. And regarding regulations of robots and legal problems at international levels, so if you buy 20 robots and they misbehave, they don't look after customers, so how are you going to sue the Japanese company to replace those robots? So that's why regulations of robots and legal problems and how you sue them and how you so we need solicitors and lawyers in that field. That's what I'm saying. You have to specialize. So if you become a lawyer, you have to specialize in IT law and in the gadgets of IT and in the mechanical of IT equipment. Okay? So then you will make a lot of money and you will be highly paid. Online and distance learning, it's a must. Every job, which I'll show you now, they say you must have, if you want to take that job from us, you must have the ability to learn whatever we are teaching you. No matter how many certificates you have and how many degrees and which the best university, if you don't have the ability to learn more every 5 years or 3 years and upgrade your knowledge and prepare yourself, we don't want you. Don't even bother to apply. Because you will have to sign that you're willing to go to training courses to make sure that you carry on online and distance learning through them and for them. 3D printing. I put it number 8, but for some of us, in some fields, it could be really number 1. Because 3D printing of body organs is booming. Not now, even 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But now and in the future, because a lot of elderly people, the number of elderly people is growing. So to change part of their knee, to change part of their leg, to change part of their arm, to change part, is becoming cheaper. Now you can 3D print the organs and the body parts. And you can replace them easily at a couple of £1,000s. 10 years ago was £100,000 that operation. Now that operation costs a couple of £1,000s. So if somebody lost his lost his arm or his hand or his leg, he can ask a company to 3D print for him that limb and then they replace it. The same thing with food. Food will be 3D printed in schools and universities in front of children. Shoes and handbags already, all the celebrities, all the footballers, they 3D print their shoes exactly to the shape of their feet. Already is happening. Last 3 years, 5 years, 3D printing shoes happening to all the celebrities and all the footballers. Right, the same thing with cars, aeroplanes, Tata Steel and Rolls-Royce and other major powerful companies, they 3D print lots of parts of their engines. And BMW and Mercedes as well. It's already happening. So it shows you that how the accessories and the parts of cars and airplanes are already being 3D printed. Now, washing machine and vacuum cleaners, you'll be able to buy a small 3D printer, and if something goes wrong with your washing machine or dishwasher, you can take that part, scan it, and then get the 3D printer. Either go to a shop where they do 3D printing, or you buy a 3D printer, and you can 3D print that piece of plastic and put it back in your washing machine, or dishwasher, okay, or vacuum cleaner. Building houses and offices, already happening in China. They are 3D printing 2-story, 3-story buildings. And some of the powerful contractors in the UK, also they're doing brick walls, and they're doing concrete, and so many different bits and pieces. They are experimenting with them, and they are producing them in masses. But the Chinese are really heavily involved in it. And already in Switzerland, I think, or France, there are already like 5 or 20 houses 3D printed. You can see them available. Okay? Now, cladding of buildings will be biologically and chemically engineered to grow on the structure. This has started in 2008, but it's very expensive. But it's becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And the Architecture Association in London, which is half an hour from here, their students, they are developing this technology. And other students from other universities and in America, they are developing this technology. So basically the cladding will be growing and growing. So buildings will be growing, not anymore constructed. They will be growing the same way trees are growing, okay? So that's why it's very important to tell our kids and our relatives and friends to get into this kind of training and these kind of jobs and go for interviews. Even if you're not good at it, go to the interview, speak to the people, speak to the directors. What kind of training do you want me to get in order to employ me next year or next 6 months or the next 2 years? Or while I'm at university, what module shall I take? Taking the module is very important. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, artificial intelligence module was a very minor one. Now students, they take it every year, and they take as well machine learning and robotics and all these extra modules, in the university to make sure that they get somewhere to some of these jobs which I'm showing you. So if your son tells you, oh, I want to finish my degree quickly, oh, I'm not bothered, oh, tell him, no, my son, study properly, learn properly, be kind to your teachers, ask them questions, check with this journal, check with that magazine, check with that book, check with the company, go to that company and tell them, I am doing this project, what would you advise me to work on? What kind of product do you want me to design? Or do you think I should design? So communicate with the companies, because the companies, they are 10 years ahead than universities. Always remember, in the field of artificial intelligence and the technology, they are 10 years ahead and better than any university in the industry. Right, so now the rest of it you can see. These are the jobs which are likely to be very important. I'll just focus on two. We'll quickly read them, and let me just focus on these two. Cryptocurrency miners. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this, because now it's happening, hush hush. Many people, they're making a lot of money out of it, but they're being quiet about it. So the company, they tell you, let's use your computers. Allow us to use your 10 computers in your company at night, and we process our data, and we do sort of produce important information for us, and we pay you in Bitcoin, in cryptocurrency. You can choose, or they can choose. So it's called cryptocurrency miners. Lots of jobs are gonna be around. So you need to learn those skills, or tell your children to learn the technology and how to deal with communicating with those companies in order to get a good job. And even if they do part-time, they will be earning a lot of money, and they carry on studying. Because now with the fees in universities are so high. 9,000 is going to become maybe 12,000. So how can you afford? And food, and London is very expensive. So tell your children, get one of these jobs. Work on an application with that company about face and object recognition. Become a specialist in that. Work on robot trainers to familiarize customers, be efficient with using these robots. So how they communicate. Like there are going to be trainers who train that elderly person how to use the robot, and how train that robot how to be kind to that elderly person or that child, and how to be gentle. A customer as well, how to be happy with that robot, and that robot how to be happy with the customer. And this is happening in Sainsbury. You know, when you self-buy, that is a robot. You buy in Sainsbury and Tesco and Asda through that robot. And the customer comes and helps you. And these are going to develop and develop and develop, and they're going to become quite sophisticated very soon. Now, this is another one in my field. Construction workers who are good at resource efficiency, as out of the $9 trillion of the industry worldwide, you know, the buildings that we build every year in the world, they cost, in terms of material and wages, all these projects, $9 trillion. 1/3 of that go to wastage. They break the material, they have accidents, they cut the wrong size, they order the wrong tool, the wrong product, the wrong pipe, the wrong engine, the wrong whatever you want to call it, the wrong cable, all this, the wrong window, the wrong door. Okay, so that is going to be very important in building information modeling, in how to use artificial intelligence to reduce the wastage. So this is another thing that they can get into it in terms of saving time, energy, and space. And the top one, designing and manufacturing sensors, as I mentioned, that are stuck to tables and chairs, are very, very important as well, because that is becoming a huge industry. And especially we have 4 countries that need to be built and constructed. So imagine how many furniture and how many chairs and how many will be produced and sent to those countries. Okay. Right. Now we move into the artificial intelligence and Python jobs in London and other places. So Sorry about the left-hand side, we can't do much. So these are current jobs are available, okay? So it tells you Google software engineers develop the next generation technology that change how billions of users connect, explore, and interact with information and one another. Our products need to handle information at massive scale and extend well beyond web search. We are looking for engineers, listen to this carefully. We are looking for engineers who bring fresh ideas. So remember this. They want fresh ideas, okay? Fresh ideas. From all areas, including information retrieval, distributed computing, large-scale system design, networking and data storage, security, artificial intelligence. So now, with all these jobs, they must mention the artificial intelligence and other words that are related to it. So, Python is one of the most powerful and popular software. It's downloadable, it's free to download. The British government has paid for it for free, so your kid, my kid, your daughter, my daughter, can download it and learn the coding and how to use it. So the sooner you teach her this kind of software and this kind of skills, within 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, she becomes very powerful and very strong. And imagine the high salary that she could be getting or he could be getting. So I'll just move quickly because we are running out of time. We're supposed to be really stopping. So as you can see, for that job qualification, there will be BSc in computer science, field and a PhD, for example. And the software, again, I'll just quickly here go to them. So C, C++, Java, okay, and JavaScript. But look what they've added, Go and Python. These are new artificial intelligence software, okay? So if you know them, that's an advantage. If you don't know them, even if you have 10 years experience and 10 qualifications, they're not going to get you. They're not going to ask you to come to their company. They won't pick you. And in fact, the robot that is going to allocate, is going to pick up the candidates, won't pick somebody who doesn't have Python on his CV or Go as a software. Right? So remember Python, and for example, Go, and others, and others, and others. Right, I'll just go quickly as well because we don't want the people to be tired. Okay, see? Listen to this. Interest and ability to learn other coding languages as needed. So if you're good at learning, we will employ you. If you're not good at learning, forget it. With all these qualifications that they mentioned, and degree and experience, if you don't have interest and ability to learn other coding languages,